God Fitted Japan!
Yeah, all the time I'm on business. I'm all about my business, but I ain't got no briefcase. Yeah, all I got's some whiskey. Open now the whiskey, bring it to you. Yeah, I'm leaning up against the door, and my feet set to the floor, and the mess I long ago. Yeah, I've been in before. I'm a broken man, needing remedial lands. I'm all about my business. Let me love you till the morning. Let me love you till the morning, yeah.
What's up, feeders? Welcome to yet another action-packed episode of Got Faded Japan, and I am your host, Johnny. And as you fine folks know, Got Faded Japan is about three dudes, booze, Japan, and the news. And faders, today, this is episode number 740. This is a very epic number. 740 is my... Well, it's not my favorite number, but I like 7, so it's a great number. It's a great number for tonight. And speaking of great, we are with two amazing people who are doing amazing things here in Japan. We're here with my man Dean and my boy Sho over here, and they're doing great stuff, and we're going to learn everything about what they're doing. But first, before we do that, I got to say, gentlemen, thank you so much for being on the show, and hi, kampai.
Bye. Cheers.
Well, this is the first time I'm doing this show where everybody has a different drink. I'm drinking a beer. Dean, what are you drinking?
Whiskey.
Whoa!
On the rocks.
I think I dropped the ball. Sho, what are you drinking?
Shochu with tea.
Shochu with tea. Okay, so who's the weak link? I'm the weak link. The weak link. Oh, gosh. All right, and faders, this is a very, very exciting show because we're in Ikebukuro. I don't think I've ever done an episode in Ikebukuro before. Wait, maybe once? I don't know. I really don't think so. So we're in Ikebukuro. Gentlemen, where are we?
Yeah, we're at Rubik House. Rubik House, yeah.
Rubik House, the iconic Rubik House. This place here is it's a DJ bar, live house, hangout, and there's a motorcycle right behind me.
Yeah.
You can ride this. Can I start this?
And it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. Oh, don't tell me that.
Written a few years ago.
Written a few years ago. Oh, geez, yeah, like yesterday probably. But man, that's a classic.
Is that the same motorbike that was outside before? Or there's also
yeah,
outside?
Same thing.
Okay. Yeah. So there's still a motorbike outside. That's kind of how people find this place.
Yeah.
There's always a motorbike.
I think I'm wearing the wrong kind of jacket for this place. Oh, man. So you guys do some amazing things here in Japan. Some really, really cool things here. And I want to know all about them. And so let's start off with you, Dean. Dean, you are the president and you're the founder of a record label called Tebasaki Group.
That's right.
Am I right? Okay, Tebasaki Group. Okay, so, all right, first off, before we talk about this record label, which is a really amazing record label, you're doing some great stuff here in Japan. I'm really, really happy that you're on this show. There's so much to talk about. But first, the first thing I got to ask you is, Tebasaki Group. Tell me about this name.
Yeah, so my business partner out in Nagoya, he loves Tebasaki, loves Nagoya.
So what is Tebasaki?
Yeah, so we were coming up with a name, and he's like, well, I love Tebasaki, which is the chicken wings.
Chicken wings.
So, yes, chicken wings from Nagoya. It's kind of local Nagoya food.
Yeah, we like that food.
Yep.
Well, everybody loves Nagoya, and who doesn't love chicken wings? So I guess, if you're going to make a label, why not?
Right, exactly.
Why not?
Yeah.
And the thing is, nobody's ever going to copy you.
Well, the thing is, I asked some people from Nagoya, and I asked some of my friends, like, what do you think about the name Tebasaki? Like, oh, well, what is the company name? What's Sony? What's Panasonic?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, it's a good question. So we went with Tebasaki.
Why not? That's fantastic.
Why not?
He asked me once too.
Yeah, I asked you as well, yeah. What did you say?
I don't remember. How did I say?
Yeah.
I said it's cool. Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's absolutely original. Yeah, it's awesome. And I love your logo. Your logo is it's like a chicken with a greaser look.
Yep, he's got a hair comb.
He's got a hair. Okay, I kind of got a hair comb tonight.
Yep.
We're in Ikebukuro. You got to dress up.
That's right. That's right.
Excellent. And so you're a singer, songwriter, and you're a drummer. You do a lot of music stuff. Can you tell us what you do?
Basically, I've been playing drums for 10 or more. And then my husband broke up, so I turned to be a solo singer. Like as you said, singer-songwriter. So then I was trying to be a singer as more like in English and British rock style,
Right.
with hairstyle or makeup, like Visual K style. So I was in Visual K band.
Visual K is awesome. Yeah, cool.
So I was trying that before COVID.
So you're doing Visual K before COVID?
Yes, since I was 19 or 20 to 2018. And we broke up, and I turned to be a solo singer.
Yeah. So the show has a lot of covers of Oasis and stuff like X Japan as well. Some of his
X Japan, yes.
Yeah, on YouTube, so you can definitely check that out.
Yeah, sometimes David Bowie or
David Bowie.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. So show's like a big fan of like I said, X Japan stuff like that. So yeah, he's got his image, and that's what I really love about show as well. That like it's just something that overseas you don't see. You don't see the hair, the makeup these days, right?
Yeah, I mean they did like back in the 70s with like the New York Dolls.
Exactly.
Yeah, you like the New York Dolls?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, I love the Dolls.
It's not Ikebukuro if you don't hear the sirens going off.
We might hear a couple of gunshots in a minute. It's Ikebukuro.
Yeah,
actually, I don't really come to Ikebukuro all that often, and when I do, it always reminds me of Shibuya from the 1990s.
I think that's probably the case. Actually, if you listen to the new Yamanote jingle, it's like based on like Big Camera. Because Big Camera came into Ikebukuro like a long time ago and kind of made this place happen. That's what I heard. Yeah, it's interesting.
I thought like Ikebukuro was like the original Chinatown.
Maybe. Was it?
Yeah, I heard it was like the original Chinatown, and then Yokohama became the Chinatown. Wait, was it Yokohama or Kawasaki? Well, anyway, yeah, that's some old school Japanese Tokyo knowledge.
Right.
But and we'll talk about that on a different episode. But right now, I want to talk about your record label. So, can you tell us about your record label?
Yeah, so we started last October 2023.
Really? Since October?
Yeah,
so you're all over the place now, and you just started in October. Because dude, everywhere I go, I see your stickers, I see your business cards, I hear promotion about you guys, whatever. I go to a lot of live houses and nightclubs, faders, and a lot of bars, and I'm seeing your stuff everywhere. So I just assumed that you guys have been around for a long time.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends, so
obviously so. You got a lot. I thought I had friends. You got a lot of friends. That's great.
I try to hit them up and see what I can do and if I can do any business with them. So, yeah, it's kind of where it's gotten to. I've given them business cards and I've hit them up, see what we can do together. Same as Rubik House. A lot of friends who drink here, a lot of friends who hang out here. So,
it's a good place.
Yeah, so I was working for a label out of the UK and the US, but kind of that direction changed. And then 3 of us broke off and made Tebasaki. So we want to work with like idols, solo singer-songwriters, independent artists of any kind, really. So, not solely Japanese as well, because we're working with some foreign bands in Japan, in Tokyo as well, right? Like Creepdown.
Wow, great. Creepdown. We love Creepdown. Scotty's awesome. So basically, you're a label, and you're obviously American, Canadian?
Yeah, complicated, I guess. I grew up in Florida.
Okay, American.
Florida, yeah.
You can't get more American than Florida.
But I am originally from Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
That's right, yeah.
That's not America.
That's not America, yeah.
Okay. So, but okay. So, and you're in Japan, and you've got this record label that you're kicking since like October,
Yep.
and you're dominantly focusing on Japanese and Western bands. And what kind of music? Is Visual K, obviously, and you've got rock and roll. Do you do hip hop? You've got idols?
Yeah, I have some friends who do hip hop as well. I haven't got anything upcoming from them. I'm actually working on a single now with some hip hop producers and some J-pop producers. So I'm looking forward to getting that out.
Great.
But yeah, I mean, we don't really have a specific genre that we want to work with. It's just anybody who needs the help. That's why we started the company, was to help anybody who needs that push. Like, I feel like people need that drive or that push, that motivation.
Well, that's interesting. So you're operating your record label kind of not like an independent small record label. You're kind of operating it like a large scale record label, because usually like small independent record labels focus on one kind of music. Like, for example, Pizza a Death or Epitaph or Fat Wreck. They only have one genre generally that they focus on.
Yeah.
But you're a small label that doesn't do the small label style. You're doing the big label style, like Universal Music or maybe Sony Music, where basically you have many different genres. Is that difficult?
Well, I mean, it's not that what we want to do is what the artists want to do.
Yeah.
So we reach out to the artists and ask them like, what's their dreams, what's their goals, and if it is to release a single on Universal, we'll make that happen.
Well,
That's
you've got
the
connections
idea.
to Universal. Wow.
A little bit of everywhere.
All right, cool. Wow. You heard it here. You're in good company.
Have you met a Visual K guy before?
Visual K.
Like me?
No. I mean, when I was younger, I liked Lark and Seal.
Oh yeah.
And I, some Visual K like that, but I don't know Visual K very well. But I've been to a couple of shows with Show.
So I'm the first one.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The first Visual K person is Show that I've ever met. So
fantastic.
It's kind of not my I don't know a lot about it, but I'd love to learn more about it. Because there's a girl out in the Netherlands as well. She does a magazine, and she knew Show. I knew her, and she knew Show before I knew Show. So it's such a small world,
Yeah, exactly.
It is a small world, especially in Tokyo. Tokyo's a city where, like, Tokyo proper, like main Tokyo is like 13 million people, but extended Tokyo is like what, another 50 or 60 million people. There's a lot of people here, and within all those people, it is really a small world. I mean, if you go to maybe like 15, 20, 30 different bars or clubs or live houses, you're always going to see some of the same people, So it's just like the cliques kind of like intermingle and stuff. So you're always going to know people that know people and stuff. So it is kind of a small world, I mean, that's how I met you guys. I met you guys at a Creepdown show.
Yep, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow. So faders, Tokyo's big, but it ain't that big. It's a small world after all. All right. And what separates your record label from other record labels, like small record labels here in Japan?
Yeah, I mean, like
Pizza of Death or whatnot.
The thing is, I think a lot of the Japanese record labels, and I am comparing myself to Avex and Sony and Universal, because I've noticed that they don't support Japanese artists internationally as well as nationally. Like, they don't give them English support, and they don't push them globally. But that's the whole idea between Tebasaki, is to kind of push them globally as well as in Japan.
Wow, fantastic.
With its Japanese or English support. We do some German. We have some people from the Netherlands, Sweden. It's really, Europe, America. So it's borderless.
Within Japan, so you're only working with bands in Japan, or are you working with bands outside of Japan as well?
Working with some bands outside
I know
of
your
Japan
company's
as well.
Your company's kind of young, so it's just like there's so much room and so much time for expansion. But at this moment, are you only working with bands within Japan,
I'm
or
only working with bands in Japan at the moment? But I'm already looking at bringing some bands from America over and things like that.
Really? So you're bringing like Western bands, like American bands, European bands to Japan, and you're also focusing on bringing Japanese bands overseas to America and Europe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. How do you make those kind of connections with like clubs and live houses overseas, like in New York and Chicago, London, Brisbane. I mean Australia. Do you know how many live houses or bars that are like kind of like nightclubs or whatever that are in Australia, like in Sydney? Like there's like thousands of them.
Yeah, I mean, like I've met a lot of fans at shows. So I'll meet a guy from Germany at a show, and then he's like, I used to play in a band in Germany. I know some live houses out here. Would you like to do? I would love for a Japanese act to come out to that venue. And I'm like, okay, let's make that happen.
Great.
So,
wow. So just making connections, being a nice person, being cool, having drinks with friends, and just making connections. That's great.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
I mean,
Okay.
like I said, a little bit earlier, I've been working behind the scenes mostly for the past 6 years. It's kind of the first time I've ever sat down on camera to talk about anything I've done.
Me too.
I tend to not put my name out there, not put my face out there, and just pull the strings from behind. And I still want to do that, but I feel like it's the right thing to step out and to let people know what I'm doing, and then take a step back when the company is successful enough for me to do that. That's the goal.
You're gonna take a step back? No, you should take like 2 steps forward. Yeah, well, once you get your name and your face out there, and obviously your company is getting a lot of exposure. Why not? Have your face get out there and stuff. Like where you go to the clubs, people are like, oh, that's the guy.
Yeah, I mean,
then in that case, they'd be like, hey, excuse me, Mr. Dean, my cousin is the president of a record company in Denmark or whatever.
Listen, I've heard those stories too many times.
Oh, really?
So I don't want.
Well, they don't come through, huh?
They don't come through.
Oh,
so
geez.
for
All
me,
right.
it's just putting the artists first, putting their faces out there first. It's all about pushing what they want to do. Because we're working on some stuff together. We have been talking for about 3 months now.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, about how we can get a single out, maybe EP, maybe a live in the UK.
Yeah, I hope so.
So yeah, I mean, what? How do you want to do that?
Yeah, let's talk shop.
Okay. My goal is just my dream. I want to be on the stage of Glastonbury, like festival, like Rock or something like a huge festival.
Right, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Everybody says they want to play on a big stage, but how do you get to play on a big stage? That's what you
Start off on a podcast, okay?
Yes.
Podcasts open doors to everything and anything.
But honestly, the other day, all it is taking out your phone and a note and just start taking notes of how you can hit each goal. And I talked to a band 2 weeks ago. We got out the notebook, we started talking, we hit different points. Okay, I know how I can achieve that one man at the end of the year. It was crazy, I think creative people just need to sit down, write down their goals, and then try to meet them. Right?
Yeah.
Show writes down his goals quite often as well. So
Yeah, so to combine my brain.
yeah,
Right? So most musician is like, this is my opinion, but let's get the meeting between the band or label or between company, something like that. So everyone is only drinking and talking just dream or not real life. And you know what I mean?
right.
Yeah, so just I thought I must set the goal first, and then how do you say it? Back to the start line,
Yeah, sure.
like lights down or thinking
Back to the beginning. Yeah.
with people. So that's pretty difficult to thinking or have conversation with those kind of meetings. That's gonna be most easier way. Finally, at the end, you know what I mean? Oh.
The thing is sitting down with someone who can help you make your dreams and your goals come true is what you need. And there's so many people there's so many artists that don't sit down and go through. they don't find that person that they can trust, that they can tell their dreams to and their ideas to. And that's where I hope that I'm someone that people can trust and that they can share those ideas with me. I went to Show's house so many times.
Oh, yeah.
And he has a song on his blackboard called White Sex. I'm like, when are we doing this song?
When are we doing white sex?
Yeah, when are we doing White Sex?
When's the white sex happening?
That's not my idea.
When is this
that guy.
when is this song coming out? And how can I make that happen?
So yeah, I'm gonna release that in maybe a year or two.
Year or two?
I hope so.
Okay.
But before that, so I should clearly release all my old material. As I said, I was trying to be a singer, and during COVID, so I want to finish it first because I just realized that I'm a drummer, and composing is really my happiness. Like when I'm playing the drums with my own music, you know what I mean? So that's my really pleasure. And when I be on the stage, or just even in studio, even in bar or something, even in my room. So I should be a drummer and composer again. So after that, so maybe I will release that song, and that's what I want to say.
Right. So I mean, like after similar to other artists, you know, listening to Show's ideas for a year or two, you know, we're friends and we want to do stuff as business partners and as a client, but we're friends first. So
Yeah, exactly.
There's no pressure to get in the studio, make that album.
Yeah,
it's just
it's really
whatever
rocky.
you're comfortable with, and I think I've worked with a lot of idols as well, and you know, sometimes they lack motivation or they struggle with, you know, daily life. So you got to kind of take a step back and let them figure that out, and they'll come back to you when they're ready for it.
We are drinking 8 days per week, right?
Really?
That's where the motivation for me comes from. Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about there. Speaking
right.
of, I need another drink.
Yes. Let's get you another drink.
What's the bartender's name?
Yasan.
Yes,
Yasan, すみません。生ビールも一ついいですか？はい、ありがとうございます。
俺も飲んじゃおうかな。
Yeah, I can speak Japanese.
I'm definitely being a bit nervous, but I'm starting to settle down.
Yeah, that's why the booze is very, it's quite mandatory for Got Fitted Japan. But I think that's absolutely fascinating. And there's so many questions I have, especially like you being a drummer, because usually drummers are not composers. You know, so for you to be a drummer and composer, that's fascinating.
He's
you know?
like Phil Collins.
Yeah, well, okay, well, there you go. Well, all right. Out of all the bands,
Harry.
there's one that's famous, or two that are very famous.
Genesis, yeah. Show is Genesis.
Genesis, you are a Genesis.
Okay,
but that's awesome. So yeah, I want to hear your music, and actually, if you can give me some links to your music, I want to put that down in the show notes. So faders, when you're watching this on YouTube, and you should be watching this on YouTube and subscribing, go down to the show notes, click on the links, and you can see what he's doing.
Yeah.
I'll prepare that.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. And okay, now, Dean, before the show, you said that your company is actually also a production company, an advertising company, and a touring management company. Right. Can you tell me a little bit about the advertising?
Yeah, so I've noticed that Japanese graphic design could use some help.
No comment.
A lot of the times, the information is left out of the flyer. There's no English anywhere when there could be. So I've done some graphic design myself, and I hit up other graphic designers to kind of bring that more. Oh, here we are.
Arigato. This is a great bar. Hey!
Yasan.
He's the owner.
Yasan.
Yes.
Yasan, say hello.
This is my t-shirt.
Welcome to Rubik.
Oh yeah. Look, check out his T-shirt. Yeah.
Shokotani. Wow, that's your T-shirt?
That's his T-shirt.
That's an awesome
Yeah.
T-shirt, man. It's always great when the bartender supports you, you know? Usually we support the bartender, but when they support you, that's a great thing.
Very thankful.
But yeah, when it comes to advertising, and number one, it's the graphic design.
Graphic design, yeah, very important. Yeah.
It's the photos that they take. There's no selfies. We don't deal with,
You don't do selfies!
You can't use a selfie to promote a show.
I do.
You know? So there's a lot of so professional photography, professional graphic design. We try to get everything that they need to promote themselves in a what's the best way to describe it? Professional way? I know we're working with independent artists and that's the goal, but we want them to present themselves professionally.
Professionally in a unique style.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's completely different from the rest, because I mean, if everybody in Tokyo or if everybody in Japan's doing one way, you're actually doing a different way, which is better. So I would say it's unique, yeah.
I mean, I hear a lot of
professional.
Time that like, oh, that flyer is very foreign or very overseas band looking. And I'm like, okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Still haven't really figured that out, but for the most part, I think it's positive feedback.
Do people come?
People come, yeah.
It's a good thing.
People come. And the flyers, the graphics, the flyers are usually printed out and posted around. Yeah.
That's another thing about like what you're doing. I see a lot of print. Like I've been to like 3 different establishments recently, one being the Den, and I saw your business cards and your stickers and your flyers like at the bar. And the thing is, like when you go to a bar and you're hanging out with your friends, there's like sometimes there's like a little bit of a quiet time where you're just kind of like chilling out a little bit or whatever. You're watching like some videos on TV, and somebody looks around, they start looking at like the magazines or like the flyers that are like hanging out that are at the bar or like in the area. And you definitely have capitalized on that, because the places where I've been to, I'm like, oh shit, that's Dean's stuff, because you've got that logo that's so iconic. It's a chicken with like kind of like the Elvis haircut,
that's
right?
Right, yeah.
So it's just like you see that and you know exactly who it is.
Well, we want to present ourselves in the same way that we want artists to present themselves, which is to monetize and to do merchandise.
Yeah.
Because you go to shows and there's nothing to buy. And sometimes there's people coming from overseas, and they're like, oh, I want to take this back to my friends.
CDs, T-shirts,
I want to take this back home. I want to show my friends, but there's no T-shirts. There's no CDs. There's no stickers. So there's no, Boupon, right? There's no merchandise sales before or after the show.
Yeah,
like,
you've
why?
got T-shirts.
Yeah. Of course, shows got T-shirts.
Shows got T-shirts. I just saw one over there. The bartender's wearing one.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll make sure he always has T-shirts.
Good job.
That's also something that we're trying to do, too, is that because we want to work with the more independent scene, we're trying to get T-shirts, stickers, and merchandise as cheap as possible. So we use our connections to get the best price for the artists.
So, all right, let's talk about like promotion. So, do you do a lot of SNS, like TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I grew up on that generation as well. So, and with the idol scene, they're really active on Twitter. So I've paid a lot of attention of, likes, retweets, quote retweets, tagging people. It definitely benefits everybody. So I always recommend that you get a flyer on Twitter, you tag everybody, you make sure you're retweeting it, you're commenting on it, you're engaging with your own content. I think that's what a lot of artists forget, is that they put a video on YouTube or they tweet something and then they don't reply. You got to reply. You got to engage with your audience. I know it's hard and it takes a lot of time, but that's the thing. You got to engage with your own content.
You got to do it. Yeah, you got to move it forward.
Are you in Harajuku with some out-of-town friends or your family or significant others? Yeah! Do you want to chill and drink beer and eat sandwiches while your friends overpay for glitter unicorn socks? Yeah!
And the flavor's gonna make you complete at Harry's Sandwich Company.
So come on down to Harry's Sandwich Company in the heart of Harajuku, right off Takeshita Street. See you there!
Yo,
yo, what's up, Faders? Got Faded Japan has got a new sponsor. Our new sponsor is Gamuso Bar, located in Asagaya, Tokyo. If you're kicking it in Tokyo and you want to get your groove on, get your fade on, you better get your ass down to Gamuso. Gamuso is located in Asagaya. It's about 11 minutes from Shinjuku Station on the Chuo line. Gamuso has weekly bands, weekly performances. And hell, if you got your own event and you want to hold it at Gamuso, we'd love to host you. So contact Gamuso at www.gamuso.com. That's www.gamuso.com. That's right, Gamuso has not only beers in the bottle, but beers on tap. We've got every drink you want, so come on down to Gamuso. Gamuso, and if I'm working, tip me.
Have your attention, please. Attention.
Hey, yo, what's up, Vaders? Johnny here. You know I love booze and news, but I also love art. So come on down to thespiltink.com and check my art out. I've got tons of stuff there for you to check out. I've got paintings, I got prints, I got videos. And I tell you what, if you like a painting, I could probably sell it to you. And I tell you what, if I can't sell you that painting, I will definitely sell you a print. I've got prints of all my work. Prints are about 2,000 yen each, about $20, but if you buy two, you get the third one for free. So come on down to thespiltink.com. Yo, and on top of that, I'm looking for commissioned work. So if there's something that you want me to do, I can make it for you. Just check out my stuff and see if you like my style. And if you like my style, I can definitely paint you anything on canvas, paper, whatever. I've done it all. So come on down to thespiltink.com. That is THESPILTINK.com. Thespiltink.com. Proper.
Stories. Some crazy stories that you experienced or you saw when you're on tour or while you're organizing a tour.
I'll let show start.
It could start off with like fist fights or drunken people like jumping off of balconies or somebody stealing your car with had all your equipment in it. Anything at all.
That's so difficult.
Well, you got too many? Oh, this is a great question.
I mean, yeah, not so crazy with it because.
Or you gotta get closer to the mic for this one.
So,
Mic's right here.
okay. The crazy story, right? Mm-hmm. On the tour or anything else? Okay.
The most crazy story is probably the best.
Story. Okay. When we are on recording at the studio, just is it crazy or no? Okay?
Maybe. You gotta ask, it usually is. You're like, is this crazy?
How can I say?
Yeah.
I don't know how can I explain that, but the vocalist there, and I make him sing same take 200 times.
2,000?
Yeah.
20,000?
Same
2,000.
2,000, okay.
2,000.
200?
200.
200 times.
What did I say? 200. Yeah.
Yeah, 200, yeah.
200 times in same track, same parts, same melody, right? Isn't it crazy? No? Normal?
I mean, it's a lot of takes. That's a lot of takes.
More drinking thing.
Yeah,
or
tell us some
something
more.
like that?
Tell us some more crazy.
I
stuff.
can tell that. I can tell that.
Yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah. So tell us a really crazy situation. Yeah.
Wow. You go first.
I mean, so what? I've been lucky enough that I've been mostly in Japan. Even though I organize a lot of tours overseas,
Yep.
I don't go because I'm lucky enough just to sit in Japan and go, hey, you guys do all the other work once they get to the UK or so I do all the work in Tokyo with the Japanese artists, and I just send them off, make sure they're ready for the tour. But I always hear stories when they come back.
Okay, here we go.
It's not a crazy one, let's say, but in Japan there's a lot of coin laundry.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if Japanese people rely on coin laundry, but we don't have coin laundry in the UK or in Europe as frequent as you have it in Japan.
Yes.
So a lot of artists don't have enough, clothes for the tour. So a lot of the time you have to run around trying to find somewhere to do laundry. Mm-hmm. That's about as crazy as I can get.
Boring. That's it. Man, Dean, I had to go to 5 different places before I found a place where I can like wash my socks.
It's so much trouble for the tour because they don't tell you that they
We
need to
missed
do
5
laundry.
gigs.
Yeah, they don't tell you.
We
that
lost
they need to do laundry. It's
$100,000.
like, what do you mean you only brought 1 pair of socks? So it's like, well, I thought we could go do coin laundry, or we could do laundry at the hotel.
Well, I guess that would be kind of like a tip for bands that are going overseas. You know, if you're going overseas, make sure that you have enough socks and underwear because the thing is, I mean, well, it depends on the music. I mean, if it's like an idol band, yeah, they got to have a lot of underwear and socks. But if it's like a punk rock band, they only need 1 pair.
That's true. That's true. You don't even need to wear underwear, right?
Well, if you're Iggy Pop, yeah.
No, but it's those kind of stories that maybe artists that are touring in Tokyo or that are doing lives in Tokyo.
Or they come here and they have too many socks. Like, I got 2 suitcases full of
Well,
socks.
you can just run to 7-Eleven or Family Mart and buy socks.
Yeah, I know.
You can't do that in the UK. So it's a lot of those kind of stories of like, what do you mean the UK is not Japan? Or what do you mean this isn't Europe? Or that it's not the same as Japan.
Yep.
And those are just crazy cultural differences.
That's definitely
that you
true.
never think of until they happen.
Yeah. So I guess the most crazy stories are just like the cultural differences between going to a different country from Japan, or going from Japan to a different country, or from going from a different country, America or Europe or South America or other parts of Asia to Japan. You know, it's just like, I mean, here our convenience stores, our 7-Elevens, are beyond convenient. They sell anything and everything. Some of them have power tools.
Yeah.
They got power tools. They got condoms. They got beer. They got food. They got fried chicken. They got everything. They got oh god, thank goodness they got batteries. Yes. Oh jeez.
Well, like the thing is like something as simple as printing something.
Oh yeah, they got printers
So
too.
some artists will be like, hey, I want to print something real quick. There's no real quick to printing something. Good luck finding a printer.
Wait, in Europe? Yeah, you're like, where's the Kinko's? You know?
Yeah.
But here in Japan, it's like 7-Eleven. There's one right there, or right there, or right there. In fact, there's like 3 over there, you know? Yeah, that's interesting.
Again, I love preparing the artists for overseas, but I'm not thinking about printing something. Or I'm not thinking about underwear.
Yeah.
Or socks.
Yeah.
When we're preparing for the tours.
You've got a lot more on your mind. You're like, oh god, the taxes are crazy here. Oh my gosh. All right, show, now your turn. Crazy story.
Get more crazy, yeah.
Crazy.
If you got an underwear story, we're more than down. we're already on the topic of underwear.
Okay, it's almost a decade ago.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Back in the early 90s? Yeah.
With a concert in
Is that a
Koenji.
decade ago?
Koenji.
Yeah. And
Oh, I
maybe-
love Koenji. I was just in Koenji yesterday.
Yeah, they were very good live house called Missions.
You got to get closer to the mic.
okay.
For your stories, you got to get closer to the mic.
Okay, really. We're doing the live in Koenji, maybe end of year. So then after that, we had a meeting with members and the staff, and one guy, I mean the bassist, is too much drunk. So
Yeah.
right?
Sounds like a bassist, right?
Yep.
we can't have good meeting anymore then. So we are mad at him, and he finally started the fight with us. And
Like fight? Like a fist fight?
yeah, fist fight.
Nice.
Like
I mean, that's terrible.
so, we are so hungry. So okay, let's go outside, and I'm gonna beat you up. And then he suddenly go upstairs and some kind of building, and that's, you shouldn't do that. Grab him, but he didn't follow my notice.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And then I was completely, totally pissed off. So I threw him away on the downstairs.
You threw him, wait, from the second floor?
Yeah. And then he was like, grew.
You pushed him down the stairs.
Yeah, like down.
All right,
And
nice.
So he was like,
So we're admitting to assault over here.
he was like, oh, where are we?
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. Over
Supposedly,
a decade ago. Over a
yes.
decade
So
ago.
then
Yes.
Actually, we have rehearsal tomorrow too.
Oh, the next day?
Yeah. So
He's got like 3 broken fingers, 2 broken ribs. He can't see out of his right eye.
he was safe, but no one comes into the studio. I'm alone. And then,
The next day?
Yeah.
Oh.
After 30 minutes or more, and the bassist came, and I show. Same for last night.
No memory. Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah, hard hold my body.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow, that's fantastic. So,
Crazy or no? I don't know if it's crazy or not, but yeah, that's my crazy story. That I can tell.
well, all right, that you can tell. Oh, okay, I got it. So there's more crazy stories that we can't tell, but this is the craziest one where you beat up your bassist and it's okay.
And push him down the stairs.
You beat him up, you push him on the stairs. Everybody's all pissed off, but the next day, everybody plays it off, and it's just like, I don't remember anything. All right, let's play the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what's so much fun working in this industry, working this kind of job, let's say, is that you never know what's going to happen, and
Yeah.
you're working with a bunch of creative people, and you have creative differences, and everybody has a strong personality. Mm-hmm. So yeah, every day is different. Everybody's different.
That's definitely true. That's definitely true. Now, I got a question regarding mediums. Like, of course, right now, it's 2024, faders, if you didn't know. And if you're watching this in the future, this is the past. And yeah, right now, everybody's downloading MP3s or streaming stuff on, what you call it, YouTube, mostly YouTube, I guess. And the thing is, I got to hit this. Give me a second. Pow. There we go. And the thing is, it's just like, right now, like, online is like God. But for a little bit of time recently, like, I mean, vinyl came back, right?
Yeah.
And vinyl is kind of back a little bit. People do kind of still buy records a little bit. Sure. I mean, I love records. I mean, I've always loved records. Sure. But actually, within like the last like 6 months, cassette tapes. Mm-hmm. Like at my events, people have been showing up and they're trying to sell cassette tapes. Like Viawat's got cassette tapes and stuff, and another band, Marley, they got cassette tapes. And I'm just like, cassette tapes? Now I can find a CD player online, but I don't even know if I can find a cassette player online. So the thing is, well, I'm sure you can find anything, but it's just like, what is your main mediums of getting your music out there right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, in Japan, they still love packaged products. So
Yeah.
it's really easy to sell an album for 5,000-6,000.
Like an album, like a record?
Just a CD album, yeah, CD.
Oh, so a CD. So okay, so CDs are great.
Yeah. So it's really easy to make the production costs back on those kind of products in Japan.
Yeah.
And of course, then you have your fans from overseas who are shocked by the prices, but because they're a fan of it, they're willing to pay it.
Yeah.
So because they want to take that home, that experience from Japan, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, in Japan you can sell CDs, DVDs, vinyl, as you said, had a comeback. But the previous, I was working for a label before this, and the production of vinyl was months, maybe a year. It's just so backlog.
It takes a year to get like a record
It's a
out.
long process. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it is so popular at the moment. Because I guess it's
Because it's so popular.
so
But that's a
popular
good thing,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
it's so
production
popular.
of
It's
vinyl
great.
is pretty difficult at the moment, from what I hear.
Wow,
But
fantastic.
for CDs and cassettes, I'm not sure. I haven't done a cassette yet, but I've done a lot of CDs.
I think cassettes is kind of a trend.
I think so.
Yeah, but I think cassettes, I mean, they do look cool. I mean, I grew up with cassettes, and records, so I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's kind of nostalgic for me, but yeah.
I guess I have a funny story. I went to this shop in Harajuku. A
Harajuku.
couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to buy a Blink-182 shirt.
A Blink-182.
Because
Why?
I needed a Blink-182
Why?
shirt.
Wait, was it like an original one, or like a new one, or like from the...
I'm not sure.
You just had to have one.
But I was like, I want a Blink-182 shirt. So I go into the shop and I'm like, do you have any Blink-182 shirts? And like, I'm sure this guy has been in Harajuku for decades, selling band shirts. I'm sure everyone has seen it. It's like towards the end of the street, of the main street. And he's like, well, I got this CD. He's like, I've got Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. Do you want to buy it for 2,000 yen? I'm like, I don't even have a CD player. Like, as much as like I'm making CDs and selling them, I think it's not about listening to a CD. It's about having that to take home. It's the ticket stub from the past, right? That you put on the wall and that you put behind the glass case. I remember I went to that show, and I think we gotta double down on that. That's where artists can make their money and where they can continue to sell music.
Something tangible.
Packaged product, yeah.
Tangible.
Yeah, something tangible, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, because Apple Music, I've used Apple Music for years, and I'm sure that's not the best way for artists to make money, but it's the best way to listen to multiple artists. So,
what is the best way for people to find out about your artist and your music?
Yeah, I mean, social media.
Social media?
The thing is if somebody's interested in one of our artists, whether it's in Tokyo or overseas, we want to get those artists over there.
Yeah.
So in June, I'm doing a tour with two idols, Yuda Pico and Garuda, and that will be in June. And that's in London, in the Netherlands, and also in Germany.
Wow.
Cool.
Which part of Germany? Berlin?
Cologne.
Cologne, Germany. Wow, the one place I've never been to.
Yeah, we actually did a show out there last year as well, and it went really well. German guys are big fans, so yeah. So the thing is like, I want to go to fans. Fans don't necessarily need to come to us. We want to go to them, but of course we need to know that they're interested in the music to begin with, right? But and of course social media is a great way to find it.
Cool, very cool.
Can I ask something?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Which is better to promote ourselves, Twitter or Instagram or something like that?
I mean, I think that you got to do both.
Both.
I mean, it's something I was talking to an artist just today. He does a lot of Instagram, but he doesn't do a lot of Twitter. And I was like, hey, can I hit you up on Twitter? He's like, actually, I don't use Twitter. Can you hit me up on Instagram? I'm like, why? So I know it's hard to divide your time between both, but you gotta do both.
How often should we post?
How often should we post? I mean, take your favorite artist, right? Who's your favorite artist?
Kind of artists. Okay. Queen, X-Japan.
Okay,
David
Queen.
Bowie. Yeah.
I mean, those are big artists, but
They're kind of dead.
how often do you think they post on Instagram or Twitter?
Every day or?
Probably every day, if not, every other day. Something. So you gotta always be relevant. The internet is so fast these days. You tweet something, it's gone in a second.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta keep tweeting. If you have a show and you tweet once, no one's gonna see it.
Yeah.
If you tweet twice, perhaps two people are gonna see it. You tweet it 100 times, 100 people are gonna see it.
So you mean we shouldn't focus on how we gotta engage or?
I mean, don't worry about the amount of people that have engaged with it. Just keep tweeting and keep putting your stuff out there. Someone will come across it.
So like 1 likes and 10 likes, 20 likes, 0 likes.
Well,
actually, if you don't mind me cutting in there,
podcasting.
Yeah, when it comes to like 0 likes doesn't mean that 0 people saw it.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, I mean, when I turn on, like, just like everybody else and everybody else that's like watching and listening, when you turn on like Instagram, Jesus Christ, when you open up Instagram and you go through it, you just like go through like maybe like 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe like even like 1,000 different things that you saw, right? And maybe you liked half of them, but you didn't like it. Because a lot of times you just look at it, you're like, oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Oh, cool. But the thing is, you don't like it. So if you make a music video and you put it on Instagram or maybe TikTok or whatnot, and like maybe only 50 people like it, that's cool because maybe like 10,000 people saw it and enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? So the likes, I think likes are just more like people that just want to support. It's like, oh, I should like that or whatever. But the thing is, like, I never trust likes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just like it's like you throw something out there, and I'm sure a ton of people have seen it. You know, just because it's out there. You know,
I mean, people usually. I mean,
I could be wrong.
the internet, right? I mean, people engage with stuff because they don't like it. That's the internet, right?
Oh yeah,
If
if
they
they
don't
hate
like
you,
it,
then
yeah.
then you'd be like, "Yo, show, I don't like this because of A, B, or C." You know,
Yeah.
you don't want that. So
Yeah.
not liking is better. Wait. Not putting a like is better than somebody putting something that's like negative.
Sure.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it's great. You know, we've been doing tours for a few years now, and every time we announce a tour, it's like, why can't you play at my town? And it'd be some obscure town, whether it's in the UK or somewhere in Europe.
How come you're not playing in Ginza, man?
Right.
Come on, Ginza, man. What's going on? You're all over the map except for Ginza.
The thing is, though, those comments are great because then we know where we can potentially do shows in the future, right? Mm-hmm. So even though it might be a bit negative and they're engaging with the content, at least we're learning something from that.
Wow, that's
and I
great.
think you can also learn from negative engagement, or you can learn from the idea that people aren't liking it. I don't think chasing likes is necessary for the business, but it's certainly a motivator.
Yeah.
For
True.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think the most important thing is the bottom line. How many people are going to the shows and how many people are buying the music? You know? You put stuff out there, it's like a commercial. Like, think about this, man. All right. Wait, can I get another beer?
Yeah. Actually, can I get some more? Can I get some more whiskey as well?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, let's fucking, let's
Sam.
party. I almost said the F word. No, there's no pauses.
もう一回出てもらえますか
やさん、
生ビール一つください。生ビールお願いします。
あともうちょっとヘネシー。
Are you drinking Hennessy?
I am.
Oh my god. Dude, I haven't had Hennessy in like 10 years.
I usually drink it with pineapple juice.
Oh god. Am I in college? Is this a frat?
So I guess
Is this
like
Alpha Beta Delta?
I can tell you how I met Sho. I mean, so I've been skateboarding right since I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Kibukuro has a big skateboard scene. Yeah. You want to check these out? Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at your Nikes, your
These
kicks
are
for a second, yeah.
These are Yuto Horigomez, right?
Nice.
are
Nice. Nike's great.
Pretty rare. Probably around $1,000 or so.
For these shoes there, it's $1,000.
Yeah, thereabouts. But I got them from a skate shop because I know some people.
Wow.
But I met Sho through a skateboarder.
Yes.
So we have a mutual friend who's a skater, and he's like, I know a guy who does music. Let me.
Well, you said $1,000. I got to look at them. I was like, geez, Louise, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
resale
my
market.
shoes cost $50. So I'm
Resale
like,
market. I mean, they're what 100, 150 like retail, right? The
Oh, that's
resale
good.
market, they're probably about $1,000.
Oh, jeez.
I mean,
You've got
sneaker
Docs
market's
over
crazy.
there.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. I'm
Sho
right.
is stylish.
Very stylish.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to change the conversation for a second. So, okay. What are some of the challenges of starting a record label in Japan?
Challenges. I mean, certainly being foreign and is not easy.
Yeah.
I can speak Japanese, but I don't speak it fluently. Of course,
Yeah.
and I need help from people like Sho, and I have a community, and I have friends that help me out every single step. But yeah, I mean, to be taken seriously is tough. Just being foreign. I'm sure you've experienced similar, but I think as we talked about earlier, it's the trust, right? So building that trust and reputation with artists is the key. It's the key. I mean, I wouldn't approach somebody, hey, let's do something. You got to get to know them first. You got to talk to them a little bit. I mean, struggles. I mean, there's so many struggles.
I can imagine.
So
Setting it up.
I don't even know where to start.
What about like location? Like, I mean, do you guys have like a studio somewhere or someplace, or not yet?
We don't have a studio yet. Oh.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Hey, this guy right here.
He's back. So no, we don't have a studio at the moment, but I know people who own studios, and I've worked with studios in the past. And one of my best friends he used to be a engineer at a pretty big studio. He does a lot of stuff for me. we're hoping to buy a live house as well.
You're gonna buy a live house.
That's the idea. Buy a record studio.
Buy a record studio. Cheers. Okay,
buy a live
wow.
house.
So
make. That's probably a better way of explaining it. Make.
Develop.
I mean, again, small scale, but we wanna go hard. We wanna build towards that.
Yes,
goal,
definitely. Yeah.
But
well, where are you thinking about? Like, which part of Tokyo, or maybe like Kanagawa or Chiba or something?
it's
or?
got to be Tokyo. I mean,
gotta
most
be
of the
Tokyo?
shows I go to or that we go to is Shibuya, Shimokitazawa,
Yeah.
Shinjuku,
Koenji.
yeah,
How
Yeah.
about Ikebukuro?
Ikebukuro. Yeah, it's got its own scene.
It's got its own scene.
Yeah. But I mean, as you know, a lot of live houses are going out of business.
Really?
I mean, Rock Macon, very famous venue in Meguro, X Japan Baby Metal.
Exactly.
No way! The one in Meguro, the one's like on Meguro Dori, that's going down it goes from Meguro Station that goes all the way down to Yamate Dori, right? That place is on the right. Is going out of business.
I think it's just the building is too old and they want to renovate it, and they're just hopefully trying to get them out of it.
Oh my god!
I don't know the details. But
Oh, that's terrible because I mean, like the Meguro Theater is just right up the street where they play all those underground movies.
Yeah.
Because Meguro, oh god, oh that's so sad. Oh geez, I didn't know
Rock
about
Macon,
that.
Yeah. What about
Wow.
Shinjuku Blaze?
Shinjuku Blaze.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Do you know Kabukicho Tower?
Yeah.
So it's just outside there, next to the Family Mart. There's like Shinjuku Blaze.
Is
pretty
that
big
where they
live
used to
house.
have like the wrestling matches? Like there used to be like all sorts of like death matches and wrestling matches in that huge, it's like a huge area. It's right across the street from where what was it? Was it not Unit, but okay, I'm drunk. I can't remember.
So that area,
But anyway,
anyway.
that area. So anyway,
So like there's one that's right now. I guess so. Shinjuku just opened.
okay, yeah.
And of course, there's the Loft stuff, and then
Yeah, Loft is great. I love Loft.
Yeah,
In
Shinjuku
yeah.
Blaze though it's quite a big live house, but it's also closing. I think just COVID stuff again. A lot of live houses.
COVID, really? The aftermath of COVID? Because right now, all right. So basically, like in my opinion, when COVID happened, a lot of stuff closed down. A lot of restaurants, a lot of bars, a lot of places just went out of business, and it was devastating. It was basically like, I mean, certain parts of like Tokyo became graveyards of like just like dead clubs and dead bars and dead restaurants. Right? It was absolutely horrible. But then when COVID stopped, all of a sudden they're like, COVID stopped, we're done. And then when that happened, all of a sudden, like, I mean, everything came back to life. Like Gamuso and Asagaya came back, and a bunch of places in Koenji came back and stuff. So I was just like, oh man, fucking Tokyo is back. This is awesome. So to hear that like some places are closing right now, that there's like kind of like another wave of places closing, I'm actually flabbergasted.
Well, I mean, I don't speak highly of how Japan handled the whole COVID situation, to say the least. It's partly why I'm in the position that I am. I had a lot going on before COVID that I wanted to do. I lost some friends due to COVID, right? Not the disease itself, but the
Regulation.
the regulations. Led to some
COVID was bad.
led to some
COVID
stuff.
was bad, yeah.
But I don't think that we have felt the full
Impact.
the full impact. I think I was just talking to a friend who goes to a ton of lives, and he's been telling me like there's a lot of free lives. And I think he was kind of telling me that like there's a lot of free lives because they want people to come back to the live house.
Wait, is it due to the location? Because like I mean, because all right, for
Costs.
me, or maybe the cost. Because for me and stuff, I run gigs, I run events and stuff, and like for me, all right, I'm gonna be honest, business is up like 40 or 50% just because of the tourism.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
like I mean, I had an event at Gamuso like 2 weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't promote it as hard as I could have. I really should have like really promoted it. And I had like 6 bands perform. One band was from Italy. And I would say like 40% of the people that were there were tourists. And they were buying bottles of champagne in Asagaya. They're like, Moe, which one's that? Let's get that. Let's get 3 of those. And they're drinking champagne. I'm like, whoa. I mean, the bar was making like tons of cash. And there's like these people there, and they're on vacation. They want to party. They want to go crazy. They want to have a good time and stuff. And which is more than welcome. Yeah, if you're at a live house, if you're at a party, if you're at a club and you want to go crazy, that's the way to do it. And then, I don't know what you call it, in Shibuya at my venue, Knob, dude, we always get, I would say like at least like 20 to 40 to 60% are tourists just because of the location.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
is it the location or
I mean,
is it the advertising? Maybe I should do their advertising.
I mean, I
Maybe
guess
you should contact me.
I guess what you're saying is that there's a lot of tourists and a lot of foreign people. Is that the right
And
way
there-
to
yeah,
say it?
ex-
Coming to the
exactly.
show? But that's not how it is in the idol scene. It's not how it is in the visual K or the.
Oh, okay, you're
the
talking about a
indie rock
different scene.
Right.
Okay, I'm talking
And
about rock scenes. So,
That's what
yeah.
I'm trying to help them market themselves towards.
I'm
And
sorry
that's-
about that. I thought you were talking about just like in general.
No, I mean that's awesome to hear and like
yeah,
super
I'm
exciting
sorry
to
about
hear.
that. I didn't know that was your point, but yeah.
But that's what I mean. Why are they not tapping into that market? Because
Yo, why are you not advertising that market? Because the thing is, I think a lot of tourists don't know about the visual K scene. A lot of artists don't know, not artists. A lot of tourists don't know about like the idol scene. So if you promote it towards tourists, which I kind of do, in that case then they come. They're like, what is this scene? They come and they just want to have a good time. They just want to drink and dance and party and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
yeah, I mean, it's the marketing crossover. We need somebody like you that is familiar with the marketing.
No, I'm just
to that.
ruthless.
But
I'm just cutthroat.
I mean, as you know, the live houses don't speak. Usually, the staff don't speak English.
That's true.
The signs are not in English.
That's true.
I can understand how a tourist might be a bit scared to go. Intimidated to go
Yeah.
like B1, B2,
Yep.
B3 of some building in Shinjuku.
That's true.
I totally get it. So
Yeah, especially in Kabukicho.
Yeah.
Hey, you want me to go down there? Hell no.
So it's something that I'd love to, do more of, is to get more tourists in the door and things like that. Maybe I should also speak as well a little bit about the community. So some artists like Idol and Visual K, they have a really strong community.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that community is welcome to tourists as much as maybe the lives you're doing.
Like tourist friendly, where they want tourists to come in and experience
Yeah.
and be all goofy. Because tourists, let's be honest, tourists do a lot of inappropriate things at my events.
No, I mean, I think this is
It's a
actually,
fact.
It's a great topic to kind of jump into because
Yeah, let's do it.
Because with Idol, there's a lot of routine. There's a lot of things you need to know. You should.
There's
know.
regulations.
I mean,
Like you can't go up there and give them a high five. That's like
Exactly,
you can't do that for the idols, right?
they've all got their own colors. They've got their own chants,
Yep.
things like that. And,
Yep.
there's rotations where you go to the front for your favorite group. You go to the back for the next group.
Mm-hmm.
You rotate around. So sometimes it's tough for tourists to kind of
They're just,
figure that out.
They just don't know.
But I think what we're talking about is like potentially we could have some type of venues that are comfortable, that we could do events at. I don't know.
I think for
have an
Visual
idea.
K, it should be no problem. And if you do all right, in my honest opinion, okay, Visual K should be absolutely no problem for tourists or for anybody that's visiting Japan. Let's not even say to the T word. Let's just say visitors coming to Japan, right?
Idol too. It's welcome.
No problem. But when it comes to the idol situation, I think they should definitely be for my venues, my events, I have the bands really close to the people so they can interact. But maybe for if you're dealing with idols, they should be on a stage that's elevated and kind of farther away from the audience. In that case then there's no problem whatsoever. So the audience, be it tourists and people that are visiting, they can come, they can enjoy, they can experience something that they'll never ever get in their lifetime other than at one of your events.
Yeah, you can still experience that.
And
now.
that's what we want. We want people to come and experience something special, you know?
Yeah. I mean, tapping into the tourist or that kind of market is not something I'm working actively on at the moment.
I know. But
it's
still,
something I'd love to. The thing is, I came
part
to
of
Japan
Tokyo.
as a tourist.
Yeah.
I came to Japan in 2009.
You have to get a little closer.
Oh, I came in 2009,
Yeah.
right? To go to Idol events, Idol concerts. So way, 14, 15 years ago at this point. So And it was difficult to buy tickets. It was difficult to figure it all out, but I did, and the community welcomed me in. So, yeah, we can build that.
Yeah, well, it's a learning experience.
Build it, they will come, right? Isn't that some kind of saying?
I guess so, yeah.
Mitsuya Liquors. Yo, what's up, faders? If you're in Asia, if you're in Japan, if you're in Tokyo, if you're in Asagaya, you better get down to Mitsuya Liquors. That's right, for the most affordable prices in Japan, you can get over 300 different kinds of beer. That's right, over 300 different kinds of beer. And of course, they got all the shochu you need, all the sake you need, and of course, they got wine from California to Italy to France to New Zealand. They got it all. When I say they got it all, they really, seriously got it all. There's no joke about that. So get down to Mitsuya Liquors. And if you go in there and you say, Got Faded Japan, you will be more than welcome to go into their back room and drink those beers that you just purchased. That's right, Got Faded Japan at Mitsuya Liquors. And 3 times a week, they have a sushi chef there. So get your sushi on, get your drink on, get your fade on, and come on down to Mitsuya Liquors, located comfortably in Asagaya, about 5-minute walk from the station. Mitsuya Liquors.
In Tokyo and craving soul food? We've got just the place for you. Soul Food House in Azabu Check out what we do at soulfoodhouse.com. Come by and taste the love. We look forward to feeding you.
The tourist thing. That's something that even Rubik House and things like that, like, we hope, as someone who's lived here for a while and show like more foreign people do get to see the kind of more subculture side, and the kind of deeper culture side of Tokyo, because there's a lot to offer. There's beautiful cherry blossoms, and
of course,
there's a lot of nice places to go shopping.
So many wonderful places,
tourist attractions, but like there's a lot of other things to see.
I think a lot of tourists that do come here don't see like the majority of like the best places.
Yeah.
Be it good or be it bad, but it's just like, I think a lot of them just always go to the same places, and then a lot of them complain that there's tourists at those places.
Exactly.
Because I mean, with one of my day jobs and stuff, I work in Odaiba. I go to Odaiba, and when I go to Odaiba, I'm on a train full of tourists going to Odaiba or coming back from Odaiba, and on the train, every single time I hear like people complain that there's too many tourists on the train or too many tourists in like the Odaiba.
Right.
You're a tourist too. So, but the thing is, it's just like, I think, all right, being a tourist is fine, and that's awesome. And I've been a tourist, we've all been tourists, but being an explorer and being somebody that just enjoys culture is something that's actually more important. And so when you do explore culture and you do want to enjoy culture, you definitely have to like seek out the cool places. And it does take a lot of like it does take a little bit of time and effort, but I mean, if you go to like one bar and you meet some local people and you talk to them, you actually put in the effort and the work and you talk to them about music and art and culture and fashion, whatever, you can hear a lot of great stuff, and you can meet like really cool people if you go to cool places, like my boy over here, Sho, and my boy over here, Dean. You talk to these guys and you're actually going to learn a lot. So it's really important to talk to people and meet people and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's again why I brought you here, and why Rubik House is kind of what it is.
I'm really glad you did.
It's a huge community of people that come here, foreign, Japanese.
And this place is huge.
Yeah.
It's massive. I mean, you got a DJ booth. You got, you can have like a band over there. You got this huge bar. I mean, this place is like an amazing. It's like a huge bedroom. Because like when I was like when I was younger, I had like posters, and I never had a motorcycle in my bedroom, but I had a guitar, I had some records, I had lots of DVDs.
I mean, it's
cool
like
posters.
the whole lived-in vibe, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Years ago, here's some drum kit, right?
Oh, really?
There's a drum kit here.
Yeah. Just right here.
There has been a lot of stuff that has come and gone, but there's like 10 guitars in here, and like the thing is, people just pick them up and start playing or whatever, and you can hook up the mic over there, and there's an amp. So,
I think there's 15 guitars here.
Probably.
That's a lot, faders. All right, so okay, I'm gonna completely change the topic once again. Okay. All right, before we move on to the news, because we got to do the news. Before we do that, I want to ask, how can bands that are people that are like in bands or starting bands all over the world, how can they get in contact with you?
Yeah, I mean, we're on social media.
For example?
The Tebasaki group on Twitter, or Tebasaki group on Instagram. We have contact at tebasakigroup.jp. You can just send me an email.
Send me an email.
We'll reply, we're willing to hear from anybody. Yeah, whether it's overseas or whether it's in Japan. If anyone wants to do a show that's living
Cool.
overseas that wants to do
Cool.
a show in Tokyo, just hit me up. And
What
we'll
about
figure it out.
bands? What about bands? Not bands, but what about like live houses? Let's say like I'm a manager of a live house, and
Yeah.
like let's say like Israel or maybe like Bossa Nova or something, or whatever. And they want to like get in contact with you.
I mean, yeah, that'd be
Bossa
awesome.
Nova's
Yeah,
good music. Sorry about that.
yeah. If somebody has a live house overseas, or like I've done stuff at Hyper Japan in the UK, I'd love to do stuff at Japan Expo in France. Any of them that want to work with Japanese artists and they're not sure the language barrier, they hit me up. We'll make that happen.
You speak English and Japanese.
English and Japanese, yeah. I mean, it's not really limited to any language because I know everybody anywhere, so it should be fine.
So any language is okay.
Any language is
Contact
fine,
this
yeah.
guy.
Send
if
me
you own a
in
club,
Arabic,
you own
yeah.
a bar, you own a band, you're in a band or whatever, you're a manager of a band and stuff, contact Dean. All right.
Sure.
I'm gonna help you with Japanese.
Yeah, he can help me with Japanese.
Is he gonna, oh, dude. And you've got show over here.
Yes.
What's up, faders? It's your boy Johnny here, and I've got some bad news and I've got some good news. Well, the bad news is we took a little break after that previous segment, and somehow the microphone wire got unplugged and we lost sound. Good news is we recorded everything. Bad news, we didn't have any sound for it. Good news, well, here I am today, and I'm going to read the news for you. Woohoo! So pour yourself another drink, sit back, relax, and let's get faded. Here we go. Without further ado, man arrested for posting 39 threats against Nintendo online last year. Mario, you're so troublesome. Oh my goodness. This story takes place in Kyoto, the beautiful, magnificent city of Kyoto. Police in Kyoto have arrested a 27-year-old man on suspicion of forcibly obstructing business operations after he posted threats against Nintendo employees and Nintendo events 39 times last year. What a jerk. According to police, the suspect, who works for a local government in Ibaraki Prefecture, posted the threats using the inquiry form on Nintendo's website between August and November. Some of the messages said that no matter how much security there was, a bomb would go off and people would be killed at event venues. Man, this guy is a jerk with a capital J. Don't ever post anything like this. Bomb threats are stupid. Don't do it. Oh my God. And Nintendo's a great company. Nintendo's made so many great games and provided so much wonderful entertainment for so many people all over the world. I mean, dude, at this point in time, in 2024, more people know Mario than they know Mickey Mouse, okay? So if you got a picture of Mickey Mouse, you got a picture of Mario, and you go to Africa, everybody knows Mario. People are like, what's with the rat? Oh, man. Moving forward, Nintendo canceled Nintendo Live 2024. Oh, that's too bad. Which had been set for January 20th and 21st and postponed several contests, including the Japan Championship for the popular ink shooting game Splatoon. Everybody loves Splatoon, by the way. Initially scheduled for December, as well as this year's Mario Kart and Splatoon contest. Oh my God, this guy is such a jerk. Police said the suspect has admitted to posting the threats, but so far has given no motive. Man, I know what the motive is. This guy's a jerk, and he can't beat Mario, and he has no patience for beating Mario, and so here he is, like, writing all these bomb threats, being a real jerk, and yeah, I think that the government should definitely make an example out of this guy, because doing something like this is horrible. And everybody knows Mario. Everybody loves Mario. Who doesn't like Mario? Mario's like, he's awesome. Oh man, I'm getting upset. Okay, here we go. Next story. Okay. Uh-oh. More otaku news. Tokyo police arrest 2 men for the theft of oh gosh. Here, somebody take my drink. One more time. I got this. Tokyo police arrested 2 men for theft of 4.98 million Yu-Gi-Oh card. Okay, I don't know what Yu-Gi-Oh cards are, and 4.98 million yen, that's a lot of money for a card. I don't care what kind of a card that is. A Pokemon card, obviously it's some kind of a Pokemon card. So it's like a game card or something, like Magic the Following or something. I don't know. Faders, I'm going to be very honest with you. I've been super deep into comics for the longest time. I've loved comic books my whole life. I love Marvel. I love DC. I love all sorts of underground comics. Ed Piskor was a god to me. But the one thing that I never got into was cards and card games. You know, I mean, I played a little poker in college. That's about as far and as deep as I got. So, sorry about that. So this story is going to be a little difficult for me. But let's try. Hi, Kampai Faders. Tokyo. Shortly before 5 o'clock in the evening of March 13th, a man in his 20s walked into a Fukuoka, a collectible trading card shop in the Tokyo's Otaku district of Akihabara. After looking over the wares, he asked the staff if he could have one of the cards removed from the showcase so that he could inspect it more closely. The staff obliged his request and handed him the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Blue Eyes White Dragon. This was a rare and valuable version of the classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster card, and I'm apologizing if I say that. I completely apologize if I say that incorrectly, because I know some of you guys love these card games. I'm sorry. Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster card, which Fukuoka was selling for 4.98 million yen. Rather than pay the full price of try to haggle the store down, though the man grabbed the card and ran off. Once outside the store, he hopped into a car that had been waiting about 100 meters down the road, which then drove away with the thief and stolen Blue Eyes White Dragon inside. Okay, this article is written terribly. It's not just the booze this time. Just as your luck will eventually run out if you're running a risky strategy in a card game, the two men involved in the robbery have been found and arrested. On Friday, police announced that they have arrested the 22-year-old man, Sora Takashiro, and Kanta Sanmi. Takashino is admitted to being the one who entered the store and stole the card, saying, quote, "I did it to get money for living and entertainment expenses." My goodness. Oh my gosh. Back in the day when I was young, people robbed banks, but now these cards are so expensive, I guess it's easier to rob a card shop, I guess. You know what? I think these card shops need more security. They need locks on the doors, they need cameras, and actually, the guy who owns this card shop in Akihabara, if he has anything that's valued over each of my yen, aka $100, he should never, ever, ever take it out of a protective case. You know? I mean, that's rule of thumb. So, I mean, this guy's kind of at fault a little bit. I don't know. Maybe he's a part-time worker. He's like 14 years old. He's doing this to pay for like school or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, that guy, kind of a bad move on his end. Tsunami, meanwhile, has only admitted to driving the car, but says, quote, "I didn't think that Takashino had stolen anything," end quote, and would apparently like investigators to believe he's just that chill that if he sees an acquaintance running down the street who then jumps into his car, he doesn't have any questions about what they're up to. Who wrote this article? My goodness. Okay, moving forward, Tsunami has been identified as a resident of Tokyo's Toshima ward, while Takashino has no fixed address. Neither of the two men are employed. Okay, well, I guess I know what they do for a living. They rob card shops. Obviously, these cards are very, very valuable. On the day of the robbery, roughly 3 hours after the incident took place, the men say they sold the stolen Blue-Eyed White Dragon off at a different store in Ikebukuro for 1 million yen. Jeez Louise. 1 million yen is about $10,000. They sold this card for $10,000. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. It's unclear what happened to the card after that, as well as whether or not the money the men got from the sale has already been spent or not. I'm assuming the money's gone and so is the card, but fuck these guys, man. Don't steal cards. Don't steal art. Don't steal paintings. Don't steal comic books. I mean, geez Louise. But man, 1 million yen, 4 million yen for a card? That's wild. That's wild. Oh my gosh. You know, I still have some of my old Garbage Pail Kid cards from like when I was a really, really little kid. You know, I'm going to go back to my mom's house and see like what condition they're in. And if they're in mint condition, I'm going to go to one of these card shops here in Tokyo and try to sell it, man. Because I mean, if they're buying like rare cards, I mean, I got Atom Bomb and Johnny Square, like, oh man, I got Dead Ted? I got all the classics. I got all of them. Well, at least I got a handful of them. And I mean, I got those in like what? The early 90s? The late 80s? Holy smokes, they gotta be worth something. If they're in mint condition, probably. Okay, anyway, moving forward, faders. Okay, last story. Actually, I'm gonna pour myself another drink. Drinking rum. I'm rumming it. Yeah, here we go, the good stuff. Oh, yeah. God, I'm on a rum kick. Actually, faders, I've been drinking a lot of rum and a lot of shochu. And I've been loving it. I used to drink a lot of whiskey, as you know. A lot of whiskey and a lot of gin, but recently, on a completely side note of the news. Actually, no, this is news. This is news, okay? So this right here is the third story. In Japan, there's been a lot of people from all over the world coming here and buying whiskey, which is awesome. I'm so happy that Japanese whiskey is very popular because Japanese whiskey is absolutely magnificent. The bad news is because it's kind of rare, it's kind of the supply and the demand isn't really adding up. So what's happening now in Japan is that Japanese whiskey, even cheap whiskey, is rapidly increasing in price. So back in the day, a bottle of Suntory Kaku would cost like 900 yen. Now I think it's like 1,400 yen, right? And even like really good whiskey, like, I mean, my favorite is Ichiro's Malts. I love Ichiro's Malts. Ichiro's Malt's like, the best whiskey for me. It's just my taste, right? But Ichiro's Malt right now is like, I don't even know how much a bottle is. I think it's like 5,000, 6,000 yen. It used to be 3,000, right? So it's just like, you know, I want to buy it, but it's just like, I mean, even though it's like 2,000 yen, $20 more expensive, it just kind of adds up, you know? So I started exploring other forms of alcohol, and shochu, Japanese shochu, which is kind of like Japanese vodka, is extremely cheap. Even the highest quality of Japanese shochu is very, very affordable and very delicious. Oh my gosh, there's so many different kinds by so many different distilleries. It is fantastic. And rum, for some reason, is still kind of cheap. It's just not popular here, so people aren't buying it, so it is affordable. And this stuff right here, this is like some Brazilian rum called Yapioca. Fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So for all you faders that are living here in Japan and you want to get faded but you can't afford whiskey, well, there is shochu, and I highly recommend shochu. It is good. Speaking of good, we've got one more good story. Here we go. Moving forward to our last story. Ooh, this is a short one. Convenience store manager arrested for filming upskirt of customer. Okay, this is a very good way of how you lose a customer, okay? Okay, let me just blow up this font. Great for the audio podcast. There we go. Okay. Police in Yatsushiro City, Kumamoto Prefecture, have arrested a 35-year-old convenience store manager on suspicion of taking voyeuristic images of a female customer in her 40s. Okay, this is kind of odd because usually perverts take photos up the skirts of younger girls. A woman in her 40s? That's actually kind of unusual here. And trust me, I've done not millions, but I've done a lot of stories very similar to this. Police said that Masaharu Maeda allegedly used his smartphone camera to film up the skirt of a woman at around 11 p.m. on Sunday at a convenience store that he manages, Kyoto News reported. The woman told police she was looking at products at the deli corner when she felt something brush against her left ankle. Upon turning around, she noticed Maeda crouching as if he were picking something up off the floor, but she noticed he was pointing a smartphone up her skirt. Eee, gross, that's so creepy. After grabbing the smartphone from Maeda, the woman called police. End of story. Well, good on her. That is absolutely fantastic. You know, she probably, if she punched him in the face a couple of times, I would have said, I say, it's completely justified. Oh, man. I still don't understand why people do this. I have no idea why people risk taking photos of up the skirts of girls. I have no idea why they do it. First off, it's kind of gross. Second off, there's the internet on their phones. If they just used their phone and looked at their phone and they just, kind of like did a little Pornhub search or whatever, I'm sure they could find tons, not even tons, billions and trillions, quadzillions of photos of like upskirt photos of like women of all ages, races or whatever. I mean, of course legal, but it's just like, really, why would you risk, I'm not into this shit, but why would somebody risk their life doing something this stupid? I have no idea why they do that, because this guy right here, he's done. He's over. He's 35 years old. He was a manager of like a convenience store, but now, dude, he's not even going to be able to get a job doing anything. This guy, he just went from this to homeless. Once he gets out of jail, because nobody's going to hire this guy. Nobody at all. Oh my God. This guy's finished. Pretty much like when you go to jail for something like this, you're pretty much canceled, like seriously canceled, like deep fried canceled, man. There's no way, there's no coming back either. It doesn't matter if this guy's 35 or 45 or 65. The only way this guy can get a job is if his dad's like the president of like the convenience store chain or something. Oh my God. Well, anyway, this guy's toast, and good riddance. Faders, I want to say thank you so much for fading with us. Thank you so much for staying until the very end. And once again, I really do apologize. Like when we have technical difficulties like this, it's not easy to do a podcast when you're on the go and stuff, and sometimes these things happen. It's Anarchy Radio. But you know what? We got the news, and I think it was all good. And Faders, thank you so much for fading with us. And if you want to do us a salad. If you want to do me a salad, I could totally have it. I love salad. If you want to do us a salad, go down to our SNS and check us out. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're all over the place. And if you really, really, really want to support the show, we do have a Patreon, and it would really mean the world to me if you could go to the Patreon and sign up. We need to keep the lights on, and we need to keep booze in our cups, so that would definitely help us out. All right, and if you don't have any money, it's all good. We still love you. And I want to say thank you once again to Dean and to Show for being on the show. Those guys are super awesome. Support those guys. Go in the show notes. All the information is there. They're so cool. I really love those guys. They're really, really great people to hang out with. And their businesses and the music that they make and they provide is absolutely brilliant. They're doing a lot of really great stuff. So definitely support them. And thank you so much, and peace.
My little brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy.
I've got a government job to abuse and a lonely wife to fuck.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
God, the pressure! I can't take it! I can't take it! I can't stand to it!
You sure I should do this, man?
We're going freaking! We came, we saw, we kicked his ass!
Your move, creep.
Oh, man, I will never forgive your ass for this shit. This is some fucked up repugnant shit.
Suicide, it's a suicide.
Fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.